Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So we're going to talk about wearing a weight belt. So this is something that you're not going to see a lot on this channel, and it depends what your goals are. If you're competing in strongman, powerlifting, CrossFit, Olympic weightlifting, maybe a weight belt makes sense for you, but we got to be careful with the context and how we learn with it. And the thing I like to look at, and we talk about this a lot, is that when you look at high-end world class, what are they doing up there? If you look at Olympic weightlifters, not all of them are wearing weight belts. About 50-50 made that stat up, but you'll see kind of in a meet, not everybody's wearing a weight belt there. So it's not absolutely necessary. And so let's talk about why you might use it or why you might not use it. So first, let's talk about how to get tight with a weight belt. We're gonna draw our belly button in. I'm gonna cinch this thing up really tight, drawn in. Now when I push out and breathe into it, I create a ton of abdominal pressure here. So as I do it, I'm pushing out into the weight belt. So how do we get tight without a weight belt? I sit here, I draw everything in, and I breathe into that drawn in position. So basically the exact opposite of what I would do with a weight belt. So the problem is if I'm doing all my training, getting this super tight, pushing out into it in my lifts, it might make me be able to be a little lazier. It might make me be able to move weight around, get work done in the gym. But as soon as this thing is off, and now I'm moving a couch, I guess you could put this back on, but as soon as you're playing football, you got to look at what are you doing out in the real world, and are you going to wear a weight belt for that? So whatever your goals are, functional needs to be functional for your context and your goals. If your goals are competing in CrossFit, now we have this kind of real tricky thing. If we do all of our lifts with a belt, and then now we're in a CrossFit workout that has a bunch of running, it has this and it has that, you're out of breath, we don't have time to take on and off the belt maybe, now you're gonna have to do all your lifts without the belt. And it's a completely different way to brace. So we got to be real careful when we use it and how we practice. And you might be better off just not using one at all. But just something to consider. Another thing you can do is kind of hybrid these two things. So if I put this belt on, it can actually be a really good way to train to not use the belt. So I draw my belly button in. I cinch this thing up tight. If I take a big breath in and poof out, you know, that's how we get tight with the weight belt, but I can also try and not use it. I can draw in, try and get this thing loose, and then I can see if I can not put any pressure into the belt through my lift. Now, if I end up poofing and bracing wrong, one, I'll have kind of the tactile cue of this will tighten up big, but also now if I brace wrong, and I get that tactile cue, I've got this thing to cinch my back up. So it's kind of this bonus time. So it can actually be beneficial to use this as a training tool. One, when we're going heavy, just kind of as a fallback plan. And you can put it on and you can try and not use it. But you gotta be real honest with yourself. Are you poofing out, pushing into the belt? Or are you drawing in, creating your own pressure? And you gotta decide what makes sense for what you're trying to do with your fitness. Hope that helps. Talk to y'all soon.